Hey man, welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back. Hit that subscribe button, man. I need you to go ahead, like this video, and comment as we go along, man. So we hear a lot of things going on right now. There's a couple narratives I'm about to touch on. So the whole, everybody's talking about how there's a picture of Dolph at the Ruth Chris with some lady, and in that picture, he's already looking super uncomfortable. He's already looking like something has happened to him. He's not smiling the way that he would normally want to smile, like if he was happy, but like it seemed like he was holding in a lot of stuff. So when this picture came out of him in that yellow shirt at some restaurant, a lot of people were like, look in the middle, look by his armpit, and it looked to be what seems to be like blood coming out of his rib to armpit area. So from that point on, everybody was already saying, oh, he must have already got hit, he must have already got shot and stuff like that. So I'm gonna speak on, like, if that's true, then this is the way that it must have went. So they must, because it's already a lot of people in Memphis coming out saying that Dolph was kidnapped, man. Like Dwayne Chisel TV just came out. Dwayne is from Memphis, in Memphis right now. You could find him, right? But basically, he was coming out and saying that it's been reported true that Dolph has been missing for at least 2 days before that whole situation, because nobody had ever came out and said, yeah, I was just with Dolph yesterday. It's all this time has passed and nobody has came out to say that they were with Dolph the night before, yesterday, early that morning, or anything like that, right? Nobody even claimed to have seen Dolph. The only thing that came out was that one video of that alleged gas station, but technically that was not the same day, because the girl on Facebook who basically debunked that entire thing on Facebook has been trying to tell us for the last 5 months that that video at the gas station was not the same day of the whole incident that went on with Dolph. So y'all got to understand, from those facts and the facts that it's real people in Memphis that's saying that he actually was been missing for the last 2 days before that November 17th. The family came out and said the last time they seen him was 48 hours before all that. They thought he was, with some of the guys from the PRE. But man, no. So then this is the outline is basically they had to have snatched him up when he took that picture with that girl in the yellow shirt. He was wearing the yellow shirt. They had to have already snatched him up at that point. And he's already been hit. They forced him to take pictures, because if they force him to take pictures, then they can release them pictures and say, see, look, this was Dolph during that weekend. Like, this is him on his trip to Memphis. He went here, he went there. He's not missing. He showed up at these places, right? So they have those pictures so that they fill in the gaps of the time that from when he last was seen by his family to the time where he was found at the cookie shop. They actually forced him to take all these pictures so that they could say that that gap of time was when he went to that restaurant at Ruth Chris, when he went to the gas station and filled up. Those are all actually photos from earlier that week that had to have been pre-planned to be released to fill in that gap of time. You got to understand that OG Juicerio already broke it down that it was two different Dolphs. There was a skinny picture and a picture of him a little bit thicker. Well, analyzing those two pictures alone, and look, I'm gonna just look at just the facts, right? The picture of him when he was doing that interview at the cancer center, that has a little bit more meat on his face. You got to see that, right? Now, then the picture of him with that girl, and he's wearing the yellow shirt, he looks a lot thinner. So you got to understand that after that interview he did at that cancer center, they had to have snatched him up, and he's already been kidnapped, and he lost a little bit of weight. You could see he looks malnourished. You could see how the definition in his cheekbones and neck bones, that's the look of somebody who hasn't eaten, hasn't drank, He looks uncomfortable, like he hasn't been able to use the restroom. So y'all gotta understand, when you put all these facts together and put two and two together, they snatched him up. He's been kidnapped. They've been depriving him of nutrients. That's why he looks skinnier in the picture of him that allegedly that night before, right? So that just goes to show you that you got to understand, when they snatched him up, what they were trying to do was give him access to all of his bank account information. They were trying to have him give them access to all of his business accounts so that they can withdraw and transfer through all these accounts. They literally were using Dolph's biometrics, his fingerprint, his eye scan, his face scan, to access all of those credentials that'll let them obtain the money, the ability that he has. You know, they were already making moves, probably calling the bank and putting Dolph on the phone, forcing him to speak, to transfer money or to withdraw at ATMs. You got to understand that they were using him to take out all the resources that he had and to transfer everything before they ultimately pulled off the final hit inside the cookie shop. So y'all got to understand, when it's somebody like Dolph, man, you don't just quickly do over with them and get them out the way, right? Like, a lot of these people, if they're thinking and organizing the way that I'm thinking they did, they definitely had to have rode around with him, forced him to take money out the ATM, forced him to transfer money from his bank to the CMG bank. You got to follow the money leads. So there's a lot of stuff. If anybody had, you got to pay attention. What was that Bentley doing? Was that Bentley coming to drop Dolph off in the cookie shop that whole time? Because you got to understand that if that Bentley came overnight or early in the morning to drop off Young Dolph, then that explains why they're still there early in the morning and how he ended up back in the cookie shop. So they kidnapped him and rolled around with him in that Bentley. If you follow that Bentley and there's other footage that they could release of that weekend, that entire week of where that Bentley had been, I guarantee you're going to catch them slipping. And they went to a couple banks, a couple ATMs, and a couple properties, a couple notary places so that they can get Dolph's signature, go in and do what they need to do. So, but that's why they haven't released any more pictures of that Bentley, because they know that in those pictures, you're going to see the entire kidnapping plot of Dolph. And what they were doing, riding around with him in the places that they were going, would be a clear giveaway that, hey, that's the same bank Dolph uses. Hey, those are the houses Dolph owns. Why are they going there and with this realtor and doing all this stuff? Why are they changing the locks? You got to understand, all the locks were changed on the properties that he had. So what does that show you? His jewelry was taken. 901 Trigger Trey was already caught at Mall of America in Minnesota wearing it. So who's the person that has the keys to all his houses now? Who's the person that made all the withdrawals out of the accounts that he has? He has literally over 10 bank accounts maxed with money maxed in them to the amount that can be insured. And people, as we speak, somebody's draining them as we speak. So they had to have gotten Dolph's information. They had to have made Dolph give up the info, and then in return, they still ended up taking him out. So, man, look, we just trying to break everything down. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if you agree or disagree, and let me know and comment if you rock with Dolph, if you support Young Dolph. We want justice for Young Dolph. So go ahead and comment justice for Young Dolph. Like the video so we can get the justice sooner. And subscribe to the channel so you can hear more about the more updates.